Hello, BookTube. If you're wondering why I blow on the top of this can after a year or so, BookTube is sometimes there's ice on there. We like to keep our beer on ice. It's a lot better than out of the fridge. So, cheers, my friends. This is my March wrap-up / April TBR. So, one of the books I read in March was On the Beach by Nevil Shute, which is a pseudonym for an aeronautical engineer who worked on some stuff during World War II. This is a post-apocalyptic read. You get familiar with some characters. This was a Tank Top Tuesday thing, so actually just refer to Todd the Librarian's Tank Top Tuesdays and you can get the skinny on this. So. Well, I don't even know if that's used anymore. Okay, and then I got into the Wheel of Time readathon, which was started by Jason's Weird Reads. I would like to continue with this, but it's just not going to fit into my reading schedule. Basically, you have the beginning of a 16-book series. So you start out with Tam and Rand. They're fairly accomplished archers. They come from this particular region. There's a lot of history in this. Like the Trolloc Wars. I mean, there's like 700 pages here, 800 if you count the glossary. So, with a fantasy novel of this length and breadth, like I said, there's going to be a lot of world building. You have to get familiar with the past, different regions of this particular world, who the good guys are, who the bad guys are. There are similarities between this and obviously Lord of the Rings and other fantasy books that came out before this. But I think the direction that Robert Jordan was going in is, yeah, he was kind of, I mean, you know, with fantasy novels, you're going to have to follow a certain path. You know, there's just no way around it. But he's kind of putting his own spin on it, I guess is the best way to put it. I mean, there was this dude named the Green Man, obviously similar to Ent from Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, and some other things, but, you know, it's all cool. I enjoyed this. I gave this 4 stars. And like I said, I would like to finish these at some point. It's probably just not going to be in the near future because I'd really have to set aside quite a bit of time. And it's odd. I could tell when I started this out, probably even if I hadn't known this was going to be a long journey. I mean, like I said, the books are out. You know, it's easy to catch on to that. But I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say. Anyway, 4 stars. I always do this. I go, okay, I'm going to say this, this, and this, and then when I start filming, no, it's not the beer. Then for March of the Mammoths, I read Carrion Comfort by Dane Simmons. Now this is a novel about vampires who are basically mind control vampires. By the way, March of the Mammoths, if you're not familiar with that readathon, you had to select a book that was over 800 pages, or 800 pages plus. So I picked this one. It had been a long time since I read it, so I went with a reread actually. I think this was kicked out in 1990. Let me check and make sure. No, 89. So you're dealing with vampires that are, you know, they're into mind control. It's all about, oh, they don't just suck your blood, they steal your soul. And so you have this circle of them, and they all get together, and it basically comes down to a contest. They get so many points depending on what they accomplished through controlling people and all this other stuff. One's in Hollywood, you know, they're in different places, and, you know, since they have all this power, they eventually start turning on one another. Melanie, she, this basically homeless drifter guy, she picks him up and he's getting ready to rob her and kill her, and of course she takes control of his mind and sets him loose with a scythe so he can, you know, kill a few folks just for the heck of it. Yeah, there was a few strange things in this, and I've already done a video on this too for March of the Mammoth. So, Carrion Comfort by Dan Simmons, gave it 4 stars. I do a lot of 4 stars. Then I picked up Dubliners by James Joyce. This was suggested by Alan over at Big Hardbacks and Classics. And I only had time to cover one story, and that was Grace, and it's about pretty much alcoholism. And if you're in a certain circle, it can be forgiven. And covered this on Tank Top Tuesday. So, by the way, thanks for the suggestion, Alan. I wanted to finish the rest of the stories in this book, because I'm new to James Joyce, and I want to check out Finnegan's Wake. Then I read Let It Go Now, 10 Ways to Avoid an Unhealthy Relationship by Melinda Y. Stewart. This was part of, I almost started to sing the song. This was part of Todd and Dane's Indie Read Along. There's a lot of useful information in here. I don't read a lot of self-help books because I know looking around you'd think, buddy, you need all the help you can get, but no, I'm cool. I really dug the positive vibe in this, and again, I gave this 4 stars. So there you go. And her daughter has a booktube channel. It's called Capri's Book Island, I think. But I didn't mess that up, Capri. If I did, holler at me. I'll tell people what your real name is. I'm just messing with her. She doesn't like being called by her real name. Don't know why. Okay, now on to April TBR. So got some buddy reads going on. Gonna read The Word for World is Forest by Ursula K. LeGuin. Gonna do this as a buddy read with Amy Rose from my Dusty Bookshelf. And I got a buddy read going on with Elena Makridina. Got Emperor of Dune. We were supposed to finish this last month, but you know, I got busy, and apparently she got busy, and we got a late start on it. So we're going to roll this one over to April. Then I have The Crook Factory by Dan Simmons. And I'm going to do a buddy read with Oliver for OlyBliss. And we're going to tackle this one. It's a 500 pager. So holler at me, Ollie. Then I have Keep No Record by Cassie Beebe. And this is my indie book for Todd and Dane's indie read along. And she has a booktube channel. It's called CassieTeaElle. And last but certainly not least, Ramsey Campbell, The Count of 11. And I'm going to do a buddy read of this with Marc Nash. So, there you go. Thank you, my booktube friends, for watching and for the buddy reads, and you know, we'll see how it goes. Kind of hoping get a little more free time this summer, but I've already been involved in a couple projects, and it's just hard to drive X amount of miles and help people with various things like RV repairs and helping them beautify their homes and things like that, and then to come home and read and stuff like that. So if I fall a little bit behind, that's why. So anyway, cheers everyone. Thanks for watching. If you want to support this channel, send me a crap load of money, or you know, canned goods, beef jerky. Pardon me. That's what happens when I mention beef jerky. Cheese. We do take cheese. My wife just chimed in. We're big cheese lovers. So anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. Probably bored the crap out of you already. Cheers, my friends. Bye.